Now, the issue of street trading is a strategic point, an area in the states has become a source of worry to the state government, which they believe faces the state and cause nuisance, especially to visitors. Well, the Abia State Orientation Agency, being an agency of the government charged with the responsibility of sensitizing Abians on the activities of government, as well as reorientating them on how best to behave, this particular agency is carrying out its responsibility with the aim to create a brand for the state. The agency on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussion this morning, will look at the menace of street trading and its negative effect on the image of the state. Any alternative for the street traders? We'll find out from the Director General of that particular agency. I understand that your agency will be embarking on campaign against street trading. I'll be wondering what actually prompted this at this point in time. Is it really necessary, considering the fact that people are actually suffering? So everybody is just looking at where to make ends meet, on the streets, anywhere at all. So, Pastor, why this particular campaign at this time?
Okay, thank you very much, Ginika. The first thing to note would be, is street trading the right way to go? That's the first question to ask. Okay. If you consider the menace, the issues, the challenges surrounding street trading, you will agree with me that no state will allow a citizenry to be subjected to such issues, because we did a jingle where people are easily knocked down by vehicles because of street trading. And the fact remains that street trading is not as a result of lack of shops. No, that people erroneously believe. That's not correct. People just feel that when you are on the road, you are able to make more sales than when you are in your shop. And this has become a big issue because, as we speak, the Jubilee Road that His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti is refurbishing is under a serious threat by street trading, to the extent that even the contractors do not have space to operate. Nobody will just watch. And we have also said we are not embarking on moving them yet, but we're telling them, look, get into the market and do your selling. Because the road is meant for the road. Vehicles ply on the roads, and the issues of accidents are always there. We hear people knocked down by vehicles. Even the issue of pickpockets, they all are issues surrounding street trading. So at this point in time, the governor has said, like we have repeatedly said, it's not enough to build these roads. It's not enough to enhance the infrastructure in the state, but the attitude of the people must be touched. People need to know the right things to do. And one of the things we are seeing this period is that the street trading, because the Aba Rejuvenation, the agency in charge of Aba, will be embarking on massive empowerment of people's goods. So we feel it's important to give people pre-notice that, look, this is not going to be the way forward anymore. Abians should understand that we are past that stage. Aba is known for commerce. Aba is known for business. Every market in Aba is viable. Every group, every square, every place people gather in Aba to trade is viable, because Aba is known for business. So anywhere you find yourself in Aba, you should be there. People will find you there. People come from Cameroon, Douala, Ghana to trade in this place until our infrastructures break down. So anywhere you find yourself, stay there. People will come there to patronize you. Don't think that flooding the road, jumping up and down on the streets is where you make it easily. It has become a cultural thing, and that's why we're taking it seriously, to reorientate people that, look, it is not our culture. It is not the way to go. You need to stay in your shop so that people come there and know you there and know that this is where they can find you. And the advantages of being in the shop are enormous, because people can even give you money in advance, because they know that when they come tomorrow, you will still be in that shop. But anything you're doing on the streets, you are like a hustler. Nobody finds you again tomorrow. And people that want to enter into some serious discussion and deals with you will find it difficult, because they feel that if I commit this person, where do I see him tomorrow? So we are bringing all these things to the fore, so that people understand that it's not that government is against them. Because what happens is that when government brings up a policy, people first think, especially the opposition, will incite the people to think that, oh, this is, you see what we told you, it has reached you now. This is your own turn, it has reached you. No, It is to the interest of the people and interest of the state.
Okay, Pastor, when you want to embark on such campaigns, first of all, you establish the fact that if you're asking the people to leave the street and you want them to go to the shop or to the market, have you actually looked at the situation of those markets? Take, for instance, in Umuahia, you have an urban market there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've gone to that market. It's in a dilapidated state.
Yeah.
And take, for instance, if you're coming to Easy Gate, probably to sensitize the people and tell them to go to Ubani Market or any other market, they will ask you if they go there, for instance, at Ubani Market. One is off, within the town. Anybody going there, that's quite a distance. Then the infrastructure there, the roads are not good. Then I don't know what the state of the convenience there is like. So if you're telling the people to leave the street and go into the market, what are you going to do to make sure that at least those markets you want them to go back to are okay for them to go there and do their businesses?
Okay, thank you very much, Geka. Taking a serious look on the Umuahia issue, His Excellency has approved that before the people will be moved to the market will be put in proper shape.
Okay.
Excuse me. Again, we noticed that what drives the market most of the time is traffic of human beings. And that is why anywhere you see a park, there is always a market. Because when people alight from the vehicle, the next thing is to buy something. So the government also looked at the issues around the Easy Gate and noticed that it is the park that actually is the reason why people trade there. Because when people come down from the vehicle, the next thing is they want to see what to buy. So government is looking at it holistically to see how to relocate even the park.
Okay.
Because the park and the market will move together. Are you getting me? So the government wants to see which location. A whole lot of options came up. You can understand that this government is not a government that can just wake up and take a decision. And that is why you've not seen any kind of task force impoundment and enforcement about it. Government wants to think through it and take a proper decision that can endure. So right now, they are looking at which market. Is it the urban market? Can the park be moved there? All these are being looked into. So you can be sure that government will not drive people away from the road and leave them like that. There is always a plan B, which is better for both the people, the traders, and the government, that will make our environment and community safer. Like if you go to Easy Gate, for example, at some times, you regret driving through that access. But that is the city center. It ought not to be so. If people can come into the city and regret going to a particular area because of the madness around that place. So first of all, we must sanitize that area, and then government is planning seriously, because of course the state survives by rents and levies from markets. The government is interested in what happens in the market, and that is why we are constantly looking at options, alternatives. And as I speak to you, those in charge are on top of it, and very soon the people will know the place they are going to, and everything will move, including the park, including everybody will move, and the state will be safer. The Easy Gate will be safer for everybody.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking that probably it ought to have been done before the sensitization starts. Because you need to make those markets to be okay for people, the traders, to move in there. Then once you've done that, then you can now start your campaigns and tell them, okay, we fix here, go there. But if you start your campaigns and say, go there, where are they going to?
No, there's a mix-up. See, there are people that sell beside the road.
Okay.
There are people that hawk on the road that cause the actual menace. So what we're saying, there are two different things. Okay, if somebody has a shop and he brings something in front of her shop, it can still be referred as street trading. But what we are talking about are the people that cover the road.
Okay.
These are the imminent, cases we are looking at. People that cover the road that prohibits vehicles from moving freely. There are no thoroughfares in such streets. Do you understand? These are the people we are looking at. Those who stay beside their shops, we are appealing to them to get into the shops, that they will still make their sales. But the emphasis of street trading we are talking about are those people that cause motorists inconveniences of movement. That's what we're talking about. Even the keke riders can't move freely because people are selling on the road. That is not something that anybody would want to encourage. Whether that is the place they should go or not, shouldn't give them the impetus to stay on the road, because their own life is important. Their own lives are involved. If anybody is knocked down, that is the end of it for you. So it is in their own interest, not even in the interest of the state, to stay away from the road. We are saying stay away from the road. The markets are there. Areas where we need to put in order, like I just explained, the state will do, but don't stay on the road. It's like saying, because I don't have any place to go, let me stay on the middle of the road and do my business. That's not right. That's not right. If everybody takes that route, then it will be chaotic and we'll have a state.
Okay, now look at Aba. Aba is so round, natural.
Yeah.
Every part of Aba is just market. Everybody, the park. Once you're coming into Aba, even along the road, that's where this issue of street trading thrives so much. I'm going to be wondering, what is this agency going to do? What modalities are you going to put in place to sensitize the people of Aba? Don't forget that they are somehow stubborn. Other people may not want to listen, especially when you are touching their source of livelihood. It's going to be a very Herculean task. So what modalities or plans do you intend to put in place to make this sensitization work and penetrate right inside their head?
Yeah, it like you said, it may not be an easy work. Nothing is easy actually. Nothing is easy actually. But I believe that when people see reason why they shouldn't do certain things, every human being is rational. It depends on how you approach them. So I believe that even as we are talking now, they are listening to us, that the government is not clamping down on them because they don't like them. The government wants a saner society where they themselves will enjoy. Now, when they understand this, then compliance is easier. Again, like I said, we need to understand, is it that there are no shops? Is it that there are no places to trade? Is it that there is acute shortage of shops in Aba? The answer is a capital no. It is more of a cultural thing, and that is why orientation is involved. To appeal to the minds of Abians that, look, we must move away from this style of business to a more organized, digital kind of business where people are located where they are. For example, if you come to Ariara, for example, there is a particular place they call the Bakassi side, which is known for shoe. Now, people coming from Cameroon, from Ghana, go straight to that place. Why? Because they are known to be in that place. That is the benefit of staying in a particular area. Now, if our people begin to understand that when we form clusters, it helps us to market our goods better. People coming, the whole of Port Harcourt depend on Aba. The whole of Uyo depend on Aba. Calabar depend on Aba. You don't give them the stress of looking for you wherever you are. You make them know where you are. These are the benefits. So I don't think it's going to be such a problem for them to understand that we mean well and we are actually speaking to their own good. I don't think it's difficult, except those who are, like you said, stubborn. And those who are stubborn, of course, the state has a lot of ways to shape and coerce people to obedience. Man naturally is stubborn, and change is difficult. People don't want to accept change. So, but when you appeal, like what we're doing now, this sensitization will be on for a long time, telling them the benefits, the merits and demerits of street trading, why we should begin to form clusters, why we should stay in our shops, why we need to be identified, the benefits of doing that. After that, of course, those who are renegades, those who are stubborn, those who do not want to, obey the rules that can make our state safer, will be clamped on. Definitely, there will be empowerment, there will be enforcement, and unfortunately, and regrettably also, that is the language that people understand easily. But we don't want Abians to get to that point. That's why this agency is on. That's why His Excellency said, regardless of all that we're putting in place, regardless of all the infrastructures, we need to have an agency that can be speaking to the minds of our people, that can appeal to them. It's not a political arm of government. We don't talk about, this government, that we talk about the people. We tell the people, look, this is what the government is doing, and you need to understand it and key in so that the government serves you better. So we will keep doing this, hoping that as they keep hearing our voices, as we have to keep appealing to them, they will know that it is not against them, but in their own interest. And I believe there will be substantial compliance. Those little fraction that wants to be forced definitely will be forced.
Okay, so what kind of what road are you applying now? Is it going to be a town hall? Because I know that if you're embarking on such sensitization, going on radio, yes, it's okay. Putting up jingles, they are also fine. But having a one-on-one interaction with these people will be more effective because they may have their own grievances as regards to what you are bringing on. Just like you said, change is a very difficult thing to achieve.
Correct.
So, what platform are you going to deploy now to make sure that it's going to be a two-way kind of thing? Communication is all about communicating, telling this person, look at what I want to do, and getting the feedback. That's when you say communication is now effective.
That's correct.
Exactly. So, what are you going to do? Are you deploying town hall meeting kind of, or are you going on the street to sensitize them? Because you need to hear these people out. If you're telling them leave the street, they must tell you, okay, if we leave the street, where are we going to? What is there for us? So what plan, or rather the mode of communication we are going to deploy in sensitizing these people?
Yeah, very, very important question. To tell you how big this issue is, it's not only the smaller businesses that stay on the road. Even the big businesses, they also have people that stand on the road. The Excellency told us once that during the campaigns, one of the supporters, or the big supporters, he asked the question that they hope that we are not going to ask them to leave the road. Now, going straight to your question, definitely the effort will not end on radio. Well, we know that not everybody listens to radio. That's the truth. We, in conjunction and in collaboration with the ABBA Rejuvenation, we are working out modalities on how to engage the people. The people are there. We can identify them. We can see them. So we will engage them. Call it town hall, call it roadshow, call it anything. But there is going to be a medium through which we are going to engage them directly, speaking to them directly, and then really now to them the advantages and the disadvantages and the stand of government, and also telling them, giving them alternatives. But it is important to note here, like I said earlier, you must differentiate the categories. There are those who cause nuisance in the streets. That cannot be encouraged at all. They just cause nuisance on the street. It cannot be encouraged at all. There are those who, for lack of space, extend to the road. That will be looked into, and we'll address that with them. But you see those people that run around the streets, there is no justification for it. There is nothing to talk about except that they should leave the street. They should just leave the street. So, answering you directly, there is definitely going to be town halls.
Okay.
Sensitization has started. This is just one arm of it. There will be town halls. There will be some engagements. There will be road shows, where we will get to them and be speaking to them that, look, this is not the way to go. The government does not want this. We want to appeal to them to begin to look at alternatives. Here are the alternatives. We'll be talking to them. After all that has been done successfully, then the government can now look at the other aspect of it, which is to see how to make those who don't understand to understand. And they will definitely understand, because government is bigger than everybody. Government does not intend to impoverish our citizens, because like Dr. Letsuti has always said, all the levies that the marketers, the business people pay are a share of the prosperity the government has created. So once the place is organized and business thrives, there will be much revenue. That is the cash cow of the state. Business, commerce is what ABBA is known for all over Nigeria. So we cannot afford not to be organized. We need to organize ourselves, organize businesses, form clusters, form cooperatives, be known for certain things. That way, patronages will come in a mega way, so that people can uplift their living standards. That way, the state can also leverage on that.
Exactly, because I was going to ask if your government has actually considered the economic implication of this particular action, because it's going to destabilize some people, honestly, because some people actually make their earnings, daily earnings on the street. So if you're asking them to leave and move into the market, just like you said, it might be somewhat, difficult for them to make sense as well. And right now, what Nigerians are passing through, the hardship due to the removal of subsidy and all that. So if this happens, do you think is going to add to the hardship as well?
No. It's like saying, when His Excellency said there's no touting in the state, it's like saying that some people earn from touting.
Touting is not a legitimate business.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
these people that do...
You can do a legitimate business in a wrong way.
Yeah.
That is also wrong. And we would, because people earn a living by doing something that is wrong, we encourage it. Nobody should encourage that. The difficulty and the challenges people are facing in the economy today is, they are enormous. But then that also is not a yardstick to doing something wrong. Government understands that, and that is why government is not forceful at this moment. Government is sensitizing the people. Government is, because when you understand that this thing I'm doing is not going to endure, do you understand? You also, within you begin to think of ways. What else do I do? What are the alternatives? If the government says this is not right, what else do I do? So this is what the result of what we are doing now, that is what it will give birth to. People will begin to ask themselves, okay, what do I do? How do I, expand? Where do I go to? Where are the options for me? Than thinking that, oh, I'm helpless. Because I'm on the street trading, I'm helpless. That's the only thing I can do. That is not correct. That's not correct. When the touting was when we came against touting, there was a pushback. Even people who are learned, who are enlightened, began to make cases for touting. And say, where do you want them to go? Where do you want to push them to? Then the question is that legitimate? Is that the right thing to do, to earn a living? Well, most people entered into it because there was nothing to do. But when they entered into it, they began to abuse it to the extent that they earn more than the legitimate drivers. I have said here already before, an Agbero who loads a vehicle does not understand the challenges the person driving will go through. He doesn't have a shop. He doesn't have an office. He doesn't have any staff. He stands on the road. After loading, he collects a chunk of it, and that is his own money. He doesn't remit to government. He puts in his pocket. Then the driver goes, suffers, drives, buys food, does everything. Now you see that the man who is toiling earns less. The man who stands on the road and chancing people with all kinds of things earns more. No society condones such. When His Excellency said, no, we don't want this, people began to talk. So street trading is there all over the world, but we try to mitigate them. Make sure that people understand that, yes, you can come in front of your shop to trade, but don't stand on the road. You can lose your life. There's a particular street in Port Harcourt. You call it Bishop Johnson in Duke, Port Harcourt. The former governor of Rivers State, refurbished that road. Immediately the road was commissioned. Everybody inside the market. When you ask yourself, when the road was being done, where were the market? Where were those people trading? Like you asked me, where would they go? Where were they? How were they surviving? They entered inside the market. All of them were inside the market. As long as the construction, was going on. But immediately the road was commissioned, every one of them came back to that asphalted road and covered the road to the extent that no vehicle can pass there. No government can watch that happen. No government can watch that happen. And anybody bringing sentiments that, people survive there, without that, what are they going to do, is begging the issue. That is not the way to go.
Okay, so let's look at the time frame for this particular sensitization and campaign against street trading. How long is it supposed to last before you now deploy the long arm of the law for those that refuse to, do the needful?
We will take it for some time. We will keep talking to our people. The intention is not to deploy the long arm. That's not the intention. The intention is not the punitive aspect. The intention is for all of us to comply and do what is right. So that is why more efforts will be geared towards getting it right, getting the people informed, getting them to understand that this is just for their own interest. We will do more in this aspect, and because we do more, it will take more time than the other aspect. The other aspect is not something that takes time, just a pronouncement, and it is done. Nobody should be seen so and so place, and there will be task force people that will be there to enforce it. It doesn't take time. The one that will take time is what we're doing now, and we intend to take it all the way down, so that everybody will be sufficiently notified and informed on the reasons why we are doing what we are doing.